All right. Wednesday morning, give or take 25. Not so good. Here I am, out in the garden, hoping my camera doesn't fog up, with a beautiful flower, hopefully well focused in the camera because it's on autofocus. There are wee beasts and flies and stuff that go in and take the nectar off that plant. Maybe one will fly in while I do this video. And I am in the tropics, in the Philippines, an expat. There goes one wee beast getting some nectar. And you may ask yourself, why? Why the Philippines? Oh, the easy answer is, at least the start of the easy answer is, my wife is Filipino. We met in Canada when I was a minister in training in an Indian village. And we corresponded after that, eventually moving to the Philippines, or at least going down to the Philippines, which I found terribly exotic at the time. I remember coming back from the Philippines after 3 weeks and thinking to myself, how did they get all that gas for the vehicles? I never saw a gas station. So I asked my lady, I said, how do you get gas? There were no gas stations. She said, what are you talking about? They're on every corner. And sure enough, they are on every corner. But it was so different that anything that was the same as where I came from just didn't register. Now, our plan developed. It was a simple plan. I was going to get fully ordained in Canada. She was going to move to Canada. We would hopefully find a pastoral charge in a small village on the east coast of Canada, someplace that had trouble finding a decent minister, because I had been trained by the native community on the west coast to be a village minister. And that was something I was reasonably good at. Now, that didn't work out. They had trained me so well in the village that the white church didn't want anything to do with me. I was too radical at that point. Fair enough. The United Church of Canada was in need of radical. When I left the village, one of the senior ministers in the conference said, well, we're going to replace you with, and he named a name, and I said, well, you know, she's not ordained, and the village wants an ordained minister. Says, it doesn't matter, we'll tell them that she is, they'll never know the difference. And they did go ahead on that type of thinking. Very, very, very paternalistic, superior, really not good attitude. They needed a radical shake-up. They still do. Well, that's what you get as an institution. You get safe and comfortable. But because the church got rid of me, or I got rid of me, depends. The church will tell you that I got rid of the church. I will tell you the church got rid of me. In any case, our plans for being in Canada didn't quite work out, so we moved to the Philippines. And we were here for about a year when, due to family problems, I was needed more in Canada than the Philippines. So we moved back to Canada, and in the next 5 years, give or take a day, the problem we went back for got solved. My lady was invited back to the Philippines to get a job at a university as a professor in social work, and we decided that was a pretty good idea. So she finished off her master's degree, and we saved up some money in Canada, thanks to my mother who let us live with her, who has gone on to her just reward. which should be a good place. She was a good old lady. And we came back here. Now, not only was Myra offered a good job, but we had found, well, there's lots of flying things in there. My eyes are so blurry, I don't know how it's focused. But I got that green rectangle that says it's looking good. We found Canada was a great place for Toys R Us. But it didn't suit what we thought of as our priorities all that much. And we thought, well, the Philippines did, so we were happy to come back. And we were right. We got a nice little bit of land, far enough out from the city that I'm comfortable and close enough to the city that she can go to work at the university without too much trouble. And it worked out well. I built a Garden of Eden, to borrow a phrase, that suited me to wander through and suited Myra to come back and depressurize from being in the city. Which is why I like to come out and look at these flowers. It makes my day to see such beauty. And I've got this gorgeous passion fruit blossom. To the right of it is a yellow walking iris. To the right of me, I'm looking at a tiny little ground growing, wall climbing purple flower. To the right of that is a row of yellow butterfly wing wild ginger blossoms. And just in front of me is our vegetable patch. You can't see it because of all the stuff we got growing on the fence, but there you go. The passion fruit blossom turns into food too, as do the yellow butterfly wing blossoms and the ginger that it has at its roots. Very edible beauty. It's a 2-for-1 sale here. Feed your soul and feed your body. I kind of like that. But that is how we got here, which isn't a bad way to get here. We explored Canada together, we explored the Philippines together, and we chose the Philippines. Now, the embarrassing part, at least for my lady, and I didn't realize it at the time, there is an expression in the Philippines, it may still be here, it certainly was 30 years ago. Oh, that's a long time, isn't it? And it is pen pal. You get a pen pal and marry them. Well, that's not how we did it. We met in Canada. We corresponded, but we got together physically, and eventually it all worked out. But there was so much writing, I called her a pen pal, and people got the wrong idea. Very wrong. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my lady. She's about to go to work, and that means it's getting close to 10. I'll say goodbye to her as she walks by. Yeah, it's fun in the sun. Hello, dear.
Hi, bye, dear.
Say goodbye, bye. Say it louder, they want to hear you.
Bye.
Thank you. Now the dogs are going to watch her wait for her hubble ride. We don't own our own vehicle, you see. It's better for the environment. We get the equivalent of a poor man's taxi. It's a Honda 155 built to carry 7, 8, 9, 10 passengers. Yeah, on a 155 Honda. It's amazing what you can pack on a motorcycle in the Philippines, including live cows. I've seen them do that, strapped sideways on the back of a 125cc dirt bike. We were driving down the road. My mother was here and my daughter. And all of a sudden I got off the highway, made a U-turn and went back down a dirt road we had just passed. And I said, what do you do? I said, well, I got to make sure I saw what I think I saw. I can't believe it. And I went down the road about 100 feet, and there were a group of young Filipinos surrounding a 125cc motorcycle, a dirt bike, with a dual person seat on it. And the driver was already on it, and the cow was already tied up, and they lifted the cow up put its feet backwards, its legs backwards, and its backbone against the driver, tied him onto the motorcycle. And apparently they were going to take him up the mountain, and when he got there, he was going to have some help getting him off. But it's the only way they could transport him. As I said, they pack almost everything here. It's amazing. Now she's off to work. She'll be back much later tonight. Ooh, the blue-tailed fly is back, if we can get a good image of him. He's behind the blossom right now. There he is. He might settle in there enough so you can see him. I don't know. And it doesn't matter. It's that type of day. I'm sweating in the sun. Oh, there he left. At least you saw him leave. Bye again, dear. Good luck. Have fun. See you later. Ah, yes. Life in the tropics. I'm working up a sweat. Finally got a good video, though. I hope. I think it'll work okay. It says it's in focus. We'll find out. I'll post it anyway, focused or not. And for what it's worth, I'm looking at cameras that would be better. A action camera is a possibility. A good handy cam. Don't want to go pro. They're too expensive. But anywhere between 300 and 700 Canadian dollars could get me one. But I got to get better with this before I get that. So you'll have to put up with it, folks. And what the heck, that's 11 minutes. It's really that type of day. I'm sitting back, watching the various news sources I watch, all with their own take on this FBI. Oh, I don't know what that was about. That was my scooter doing something. I just turned it off. We'll see if that helps. Watching what happens after the FBI it worked out I forget the word now, but they had the paperwork and went into Trump's house and took out some papers. A warrant, I guess, is that it? A search warrant? Yes, that's what they had. And I'm watching the Republicans do their usual song and dance. Oh, it's a persecution, it's political, it's, you know how left-wing radical the FBI is, we should defund them. And the MSNBCs are, Trump is finally getting his comeuppance. Germany is, this looks interesting, we'll keep an eye on it. The Australian newscast I saw was radical right-wing, and it was, oh, this is terrible, horrible, da-da-da-da-da-da, real Fox stuff. And we're just going to sit back and watch it all play out. I think it's fairly important. First time in history that they have opened up an ex-president's house. This should be interesting. Now, that's about it. The ladies are going for coffee. Merienda, ladies? Yeah, Merienda. That's for Zion for it's coffee time, boss. And off they go. But, you know, they go when they want coffee and come back when they're finished. We're very fluid time here. And I dare say that's why there gets to be so much work done. When the going's hard, they go slow. When the going's easy and they feel good, it goes fast. And it's always done properly. It's just amazing the difference that good help makes. I know my buddy Rick was a foreman. He owned his own company, master carpenter. And I use that in the old term. There is nothing about indoor or outdoor woodwork, carpentry, construction with wood that he's not a master at. He is very good, or was very good. He's retired now. But every now and again he'd get complaining about some idiot that was working there and da-da-da-da-da, and wow. But when he got somebody good, it was sweet. Same thing here. We've had lots of workers. Most of them not worth the money we paid, which is why they're not here anymore. But these ladies, they are more than worth what we pay them. Fluid flex time, if they need time off, they get it. If we need extra time from them, we get it. It's a mutual goodwill society. And because we're working together like that, this is a sweet place to live. It really is. It is such a pleasure not to have to watch them and make sure they're doing it right. Instead, I come out and I laugh with them. Enjoy the company and enjoy the product and the fruit of their labors. And ta-da-da-da-da-da. It makes life a lot better. And I hope and I believe that we make their life better. Anyway, as I say, this has gone on long enough. It's getting maudlin. I await and it's going to be a long wait because this Trump thing is going to take years. And maybe he's going to run in 2024. And maybe he's going to try another coup. And maybe this time it's going to be bloody and spread. According to what little I have seen, research, the same groups that did such damage to so many people on January 6th in Washington, D.C., the meme that's at the head of most of what they're talking about is it's lock and load time. They're getting serious. And I hope it doesn't come to that, because the only people that win in any war, especially a civil war, are those people that own graveyards or are morticians. They make a fortune. And I would like any American that hears this to remember a simple fact of your history. First off, for the last 20 years, you haven't had a day of peace. That's fact number one. Fact number two, before this 20 years, there was Vietnam, Korea, World War II, World War I, the Spanish-American War, and all of these wars had their own horrific casualties. But the number one killer in American history was not the Indian Wars, was not Vietnam, was not World War II, was not World War I with its terrible trench warfare. It was the American Civil War. And if America, you are dumb enough and stupid enough to allow Trump and his cronies to take you down that road again, this is going to make Civil War version 1 look like a picnic. Because this one's going to be fought with Armalites and grenade launchers and tanks and armored personnel carriers and all sorts of really nasty shit. So get it together, America. We need you as one country, standing strong with the rest of us. We don't need you in a civil war. I mean, this is selfish altruism here. I admit it. We need America. We need your money. We need your dreams, your best dreams, not your worst ones. But you're part of the package, and if you go down in flames, well, it will spread to the rest of the world. That's a fact. So we rather hope you don't go down in flames, at least I do. Because it's going to make my life really miserable. Because once you go down, China's coming into the Philippines, and I don't want, as much as I like Chinese food, to be ruled by that dictator. I'd be one of the first persons sent to the camps, let me tell you. And that's not how I want to spend the last years of my life. So please, America, get your act together. Get sane, stay safe, do your thing. But don't have another civil war. You oath keepers and proud boys, forget it. You can't get peace out of violence. You only get more violence. Think about that. Oath keepers and proud boys and neo-Nazis and fascists and left-wing radicals and Antifa, because you're all feeding at the same trough. I don't care what patch you wear on your back. You all think you can get what you want through violence, and ladies and gentlemen, you can't. It don't work, never has, never will. You've been warned, but I can't stop you, sadly. That's how it works. And now, folks, that's long enough. I hope this video will make some of you think and try something different. And even more than that, I hope my camera's working tomorrow, my body's working tomorrow, and I get to make another video and put it out. Bye-bye.